was born in California, and I've lived in California pretty much all my life. Now listen carefully. Scripture can only be seen using this unavoidable truth. People are the children of snakes. They're sinners. They've chosen the moon temple lunacy. They're snakes because they have betrayed the natural martial art order. God didn't make nations or continents to be divided, but he made the human race. It has a martial art order that ends with me. You know them by their works. Heros means master. I emerged with pure truth with a top martial artist challenge to establish my natural alpha dominance with sparring. Spar it, spirit, parrot. There is no viable counter-argument for the natural leader argument and the no ill-gotten gains argument. Okay? People can only be redeemed by me. There is nobody who is capable of bringing in a child who can redeem you because they are snakes. Only I can transform them and put them to good use. No one is better than I am. Better at what? At being a human. Martial arts, these are human systems. These are lifestyles. These things predate any religion you know by tens of thousands of years, if not more. This is God's message through nature to man. It's not up for debate. So number one, with that in mind, the morally sound thing to do is to treat snakes like snakes. Snakes are cheaters. The very presence of their children is demeaning. They are demeaning themselves and their ancestors, and they're a testimony to their ancestors' betrayal. The ancestors as being traitors. Okay? They are snakes. Unless somebody who is a natural leader puts them to good use, they are snakes. Peasants who have avoided being assimilated cannot put them to good use. They are just peasants wondering what they can do. Now, if you reject that argument because you're a stupid fuck and you don't know the difference between a leader bloodline and a follower one, you don't know the difference between a snake and a falcon, let me put it like this. When I was calling on the world as the natural leader for them to submit, they didn't. For the same reason it's the snake's destiny to be a snake, it was their destiny to be a demon. Demon even comes from the word demos, D-E-I-M-O-S, which is the word for terror, and demos, D-E-M-O-S, the word for peasant and people. They terrorize people. All war consists of a degree of terror. In a sense, I am terrorizing the elite by speaking the truth. Okay? There is no avoiding terrorism in life. Number two, the emphasis should be on the most guilty with ill-gotten gains. This is why the demon or demene hierarchy puts such a great emphasis on social control groups to keep them from facing consequences. They're concerned with minds, deeds, and words. When you play stupid, you are supporting evil. There is no being good and evil. You're either telling the truth and accepting the consequences, or you're trying to find your life, like a bunch of PSYOP units would have you do. Deeds, minds, and words. Half-truths are always parts of propaganda campaigns. Some perceived good always comes as a result of propaganda campaigns. That means nothing to God. It means nothing to me. Again, horse scale, right? Marshall, horse scale C. Their horse, for their propaganda, in its true colors, is black with red eyes. Okay? The Thunderbolts, Nazis, Zeus, Thor. Do your research. They use Freemasons. And police include the Masons. How could the Masons be innocent when there's a large degree of Masons in the police force, and everyone knows the police force is corrupt and enforces the law of the land, the social order of this world. By default, they are evil, just like the military, and by default, the Masons are evil because of their large degree of complicity with evil. That by itself proves definitively they're evil. Okay? And then I have other patches, that come, I bought them from the internet because I wanted to make sure that I had them and that they didn't take them down and pretend that I'm crazy. Okay. Again, Psychological Operations Unit, U.S. Army. Okay. Very straightforward. There's no way around it. They're evil. They see life as a game of chess, and the martial artist is they don't make the king. That's Western culture. It's very straightforward. No Western leader could be a martial artist. No Western leader is a martial artist, and as a result, that's how their game is played, and so on and so forth. Their pyramid is a pink team. There's a lot of color symbolism. I don't have time to go over it. I want to go over the groups more. Okay, they're concerned with pussy power, right? The power of influence. Okay, the power of persuasion. And what do you think they use your pussy power for? They use it for evil, to exploit. These guys don't just exploit people. That's part of their intended purpose as psyop units and as the greater military and police and corporate structures. When you're sucking a corporate dick, for whatever reason, you can't say it is because their dick ejaculated in your mouth that your mouth smells like cum. You are playing a part. You are a cock fucking sucker, a corporate cock sucker. It is despicable. I have no respect for that whatsoever. All right. This thing makes clear the different forms of psychological operations, and there are various applications, including, jamming communication devices, confounding speech with drugs, using smear campaigns, right? The pen is mightier than the sword. I've gone over how the feather was a symbol of balancing the divine order. Their order is worldly and evil. They use lies and media and mediums and so on and so forth. Okay. So again, the devil is known as the great deceiver. He leads the world astray. That is what he does. When you are lying, you are leading the world astray. When you are presenting yourself as a greater martial artist than I am, you are lying. Nobody is greater than I am. I put out a fucking challenge, and I made sure that countless martial art groups were aware of it, and their hierarchies have made clear to me that they were well aware of my challenge. And at one point, I raised it to $100,000 for a 5-minute sparring challenge outdoors. Can you imagine anybody with any kind of excuse for not accepting? Okay, they're offered $50 just to show, and this challenge, it started off in 2012, and it eventually carried on from December 20th, 2013 to December 20th, 2017, a 4-year challenge after a series of challenges before that and them sabotaging me my whole life. I also used to hang out with thugs and so on and so forth. I know for a fact this is how it works. Gang members, political groups, law enforcement, military, corporate groups, they all operate in a way to keep you attacking each other and not attacking those with the most ill-gotten gains. Okay. Again, government, govern, to control, and mental, meaning mind. They're concerned with controlling your mind. And ultimately, what they want from it is controlling the resources, who you respect, and who sleeps with who, first and foremost, getting good and handsome men like me to settle. Okay, set, the principle of evil. Settle down, set up, set the stage, and so on. Backwards is tease, right? Pussy power in its various forms for the psychological effect. All right, again, the AB, for example, an alliance between Irish bikers, neo-Nazis, white separatists, white nationalists, and Satanists on record. Okay, very straightforward. They're in the prison system. They use their networks on the outside to keep you from attacking the elite and to keep you attacking each other. Okay, period. That's what all these prison gangs do. Look at their symbols. The BGF, a dragon. You think these are good people? You think they care about people? Where does that dragon come from? It comes from the occult. The PSYOP unit patches. Okay, I've gone over the gangs in Chicago, the Satan's disciples, the vice lords. These are bad guys who serve the purpose of stifling black martial artist movements at first, and over time they created the Black Panthers to kind of control these movements and then to stifle them. Okay? And it's even more complicated than that. Other martial artists are pure fucking evil. Their systems are worldly. Grapple, Grape L, Pan, okay, nap, get you to fall asleep so they can take advantage of you. You know, substances, wine, Dionysus, Bacchus, Best, all these pussies, they're all scum. Okay. The Temple of Set, the Church of Satan, the liberals, the Grand Lodge in San Francisco, where the center of the feminist and the LGBT movement, the witches, the vampires, the goths, the emos, these are all sick, evil, occult-themed bitches. You aren't going to find any group outside of the divine order that ends in me that isn't this way. The Bible is by the bull-coded bullshit, sex cult, Zagreus, Zeus, Ganymede, Hades, Serapis, Loki, etc. Bullshit. Okay? Without being corrupted by me, it is obsolete psychology to help demons demean everybody and feel better about themselves while they do it. And their own scripture testifies it. The Bible testifies against it. The Bible ends in Revelation 22:21. Revelations 22:15 says, outside are the dogs. They use the word in their language, in their culture. God is dog backwards. When in Revelations, the last book, 5 or 6 lines away from the last line, it says, outside are the dogs. Those who practice magic arts. Magic card bitches. It's the gospel. Go spill. Buy the bull. To bull. And so on and so forth. Parable. Pair a bull. The sexually immoral, the murderers, the idolaters, and everyone who loves and practices falsehood, including manhood and womanhood. Okay, they lie to you about what it means to be a man. What it means to be a man is to be a martial artist who's completely serves God. After I'm dead, there is no manhood. There's just little children waiting for women to use their pussy power to tell them what to do. It's straight fucking forward. How could I be wrong? Again, it ends after I die because I didn't raise a child myself and convey to them the spirit. People didn't emerge because they have cowardly genes when technology is about to overcome them hopelessly, when even popular science is like, look, you stupid fucks. We control you to such a large degree, it's either emerge for the true spirit of God now or accept sexual slavery and technological terror, okay? There's countless books that prove my point, right? Their inability, their arguments are so retarded. Their inability they can't effectively apply their funds to change Africa themselves, and they spent fucking over $1 trillion or something over the last 20 years or something like that, right? Trying to do so, trying to help the underdeveloped world. And then they have the nerve to say that these people can't govern themselves. Look who's talking. Mr. I have all the power. Mr. I have all the guns and bombs. And you have all this money and you can't even effectively select leaders to apply it properly? You puppet dictator, you proxy warfare type bitches? Fuck you talking about here? Of course you're the biggest failures of all leadership, right? The West, the whites, the Jews, and the Asians, with all due respect, have proven to be the biggest failures when it comes to leadership. You're a fucking stupid fuck if you don't see it that way. Him who much is given, much is expected. You were given power over the worldly realm, and you've made it a God-rejecting shithole. Shame on you. And you yourselves come out with books, with scientific, sources, right? It says you subconsciously control people. When you mix this book with this book, the works of people we have around now, and the trajectory of society, is the logical assumption to not emerge before it is too late, or is it to emerge before it's too fucking late? I refuse for even one moment to consider the possibility that the children of those who come from a long line of people who refuse to submit to the martial art order could possibly be anything but snakes. They intend to cheat people like me out of their rightful place, and they cannot redeem each other. They can only be redeemed by me and my son, because this is the only guy who emerged in the true spirit of Ra, the true spirit of God. So, Horus, son of Ra. The principles of good is what Horus symbolizes. There's a difference between that and every pagan culture in the world, because this is about the principles of good and using martial arts to forge your mind, body, soul, and spirit. Okay, the spirit to do so. Okay, to convey these principles. While everyone was sucking a snowman dick. What don't you get? Practice ice, malice ice, police ice, policy ice, and so on and so forth. Okay, ICE, immigration and customs enforcement. How you see things. Okay, how you see things is like the animal that you are. It's more than just your eyeballs that made it that way. It's your brain structure. And you can unnaturally change it and connect to God. Because it's ill-gotten gains. If you live in reality, you deserve to suffer. You deserve to suffer for being forged to be snakes. You deserve to live like snakes. Unless you have let the true Redeemer redeem you, you did not. Okay? It's straightforward. I might have slipped on my words because of their drugging a little bit, but you're a dumbass if you don't see that I'm right.